Don in London, hello. October the 13th, 2009. Just double checking. Dogs are barking downstairs. And my video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. I have to smile about the dogs. I mentioned them yesterday. They do woof a lot. Part of life, isn't it? And we make do with what goes on, and sometimes it can irritate us and sometimes it doesn't. But the gift for me, as I say, these videos are all about recovery from addiction to substance or behaviour. My addiction, alcohol; my behaviour, trying to be perfect. Workaholic, relationshipaholic, you name it, any ism, any addiction to cross over to. Somehow I missed hard drugs or soft drugs, although alcohol is a drug in just my opinion. And these days I'm just sober one day at a time. And I was doing a reading a couple of days ago about dogs that bark, the owner being ashamed and guilty that they were disturbing the neighbours. Well, I can assure you my neighbour has no shame or guilt around this issue. And I don't mind, actually. It's just part of life, but it does get to my neighbours sometimes. And let's hope for no power cuts this morning as well. So my videos, why do I do them? They're part of my daily meditation and a reflection on what's going on and how things are. And I share experience, strength and hope from the fellowship of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, about my recovery, not about anybody else's recovery. AA is a sanctuary for finding the truth, and anonymity is sacrosanct. So unique, authentic people we all are in fellowship and the world in general. So this uniqueness and authenticity means we don't speak for other people, we can only speak for ourselves. So speaking for myself, it's good to be in recovery, and the fellowship of AA has kept me going one day at a time for quite a while now. So there's a statement of intent shared about AA at meetings of the fellowship, and the statement of intent or preamble goes like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is the desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And yesterday there were, apart from power cuts and calamities, little ones, not big ones, quite a time spending with other people, just helping gently to find truth. And what is truth? Well, it's something outside of me often. Sometimes I share truth as if it were true. In fact, it's belief. It's a belief or an opinion. So anything you see or hear is subject to your good conscience and your own understanding. And that's the gift. We can still differentiate what is true for us or what works for us, especially in recovery. So that preamble, which says it's a fellowship of men and women who have only one aim, which is to keep sober, that is the primary purpose, and that's my primary purpose, because if I keep sober, the rest of my life can tick along gently. So everything I put before sobriety, I guess, can be lost, because if I don't look after sobriety, all the other elements of life can go off quite quickly. So what's important to life? To love, be loved, and have something useful to do, and to be involved and be included and a part of life. And the usefulness is as we learn. It's about choices as we go. And I had the privilege of hearing two good chairs last night at the Servite Nursery School, which is the home of a newcomers meeting. So a double header, and both people in sobriety for both I think over a decade, sharing their experience, strength and hope with newcomers and in-betweenies like me, nowhere near a decade yet, well, maybe halfway. But the point being, it's about sharing a message to newcomers. They are the most important people in the meeting of the fellowship, because they remind us where we've come from and where we are now. and the whole program is about mutual support. And the gift is, it's so diverse, so from every walk of life, from poor to rich or rich to poor, from every background of culture and religion. So when it mentions in the program anything to do with God, it's the God of your understanding and your belief system which is so important. So authentic we are in our understanding of life and our beliefs, and that's absolutely paramount. All the program tends to fail us, and that's because we cannot accept what is being suggested in the 12-step program of attitude change and behavioural change. So enough of that. I feel like I'm lecturing here, but the gift for me is simply one day at a time learning a bit more about the universal truth of living and the universal understanding of experience, strength and hope, to gain wisdom and acceptance around what is happening today. And if I keep it day-sized, I've got a good chance. So October, all about step 10, which is doing a spot inventory when things are either going right or wrong, or an evening checkup, if you like. How have I done today? And as we go through this process, it becomes something that we do almost by second nature, and it keeps us on an even keel and in balance when life is in balance. But it won't take out the rough spots, and when things go off balance or to an extreme, that's when we need fellowship and friends and maybe a sponsor or somebody that we can talk to confidentially to get over what is going, not to get over, to live through, to experience what it is that we're having to deal with. And that's what the program teaches me. So daily reflections today. I nearly said this one out yesterday. It says unremitting inventories for October 13th. Continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment and fear. When these crop up, we ask God at once to remove them. We discuss them with someone immediately and make amends quickly if we have harmed anyone. Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help. The immediate admission of wrong thoughts or actions is a tough task for most human beings, but for recovering alcoholics like me, it is difficult because of my propensity toward ego, fear and pride, or as I would say, putting on a brave face, fear and ego. The freedom the AA program offers me becomes more abundant when, through unremitting inventories of myself, I admit, acknowledge and accept responsibility for my wrongdoing. It is possible then for me to grow to a deeper and better understanding of humility. My willingness to admit when the fault is mine facilitates the progression of my growth and helps me to become more understanding and helpful to others. So it's not about me, or it's about me and my attitudes and how I look at the world. But this thing about universal truth, God is truth. God is not on anybody's side. It's the universal truth of what is around us, and God working through people where we get our wisdom. And as Bill sees it, is sobriety enough on page 227. The alcoholic is like a tornado roaring his way through the lives of others. Hearts are broken, sweet relationships are dead, affections have been uprooted, selfish and inconsiderate habits have kept the home in turmoil. We feel the man is unthinking when he says that sobriety is enough. He is like the farmer who came up out of his cyclone cellar to find his home ruined. To his wife he remarked, Don't see anything the matter here, Ma. Ain't it grand, the wind stopped blowing. We ask ourselves, what do we mean when we say we have harmed other people? What kinds of harm do people do one another? Anyway, to define the word harm in a practical way, we might call it the result of instincts in collision, which cause physical, mental, emotional or spiritual damage to those about us. And that's so easy to do. And more often than not, we harm and hurt ourselves, and then we feel like doing exactly the same to other people in extremes. So acceptance on a daily basis and that serenity prayer to God or good conscience helps me. God, or in good conscience, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, normally my attitude and behaviour, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today.